Welcome everybody to some more Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yes, I know I'm playing Call of Duty, but as I said in previous videos, I'm still going to have Call of Duty in the background once in a while, just because it's such an easy game to just talk over and play casually. However, I'm gonna be quite honest, I can't wait until I finish this video, edit it, upload it, and then go back to Apex Legends. I haven't even played any games before clicking record. I literally just hopped on, this is my first game, gonna record a video and then get the off. Or maybe I'll just play a little bit of Blackout just so I can progress a little bit more through the supply stream. Just mainly because multiplayer is not where I want to be on this game. I mean, you come into multiplayer and it is just night and day difference with Blackout. One thing I've noticed recently in my videos is that for some reason I'm having a difficult time keeping my videos under 10 minutes. Like my last 9 videos have all been over 10 minutes. And while I can't necessarily complain because YouTube actually favors longer videos, it's just a little bit weird because before I would actually struggle getting my videos over like 7 or 8 minutes, but now it's just so easy. I mean, I don't even need to try anymore. Honestly, the most difficult thing is just coming up with something to talk about, but then once I get into a good routine and, you know, I have something down that I want to talk about, it's just very easy. I know that mentioning this isn't exactly helping me, would make my video shorter. In fact, it's actually making it worse. But anyway, just wanted to mention that. I mentioned how this game right now is a complete shit show when it comes to multiplayer, but they're actually going to be making a few changes. There's a big update around the corner. I mean, this is one of the biggest balance changes I've seen in Call of Duty in like years. Supposedly, they're going to be taking a lot of things that people are complaining about in this game and reworking them and fixing them. And while I want to be excited about it, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not really that excited. And you guys might think that's weird. Like, have you not seen the patch notes? I mean, it's huge. The reason I'm not excited about this upcoming update is because these are things that should have been addressed already. Yeah, there's a lot of patches and, you know, they're nerfing weapons that should have been nerfed a long time ago, like the Spitfire and the Titan, and they're buffing a lot of weapons, including snipers. They're actually buffing snipers on PC, which is something that I don't even have to do with. Like, I don't play Black Ops 4 on PC, but I am so happy for you PC guys that are finally going to be able to actually, you know, snipe on PC and have it viable. I was watching some videos and supposedly the Paladin is worse than the post-patch DSR in Black Ops 2, and honestly, I just feel so bad for you guys. I am so happy that you guys don't have to deal with that anymore. But when it comes to all these buffs and these nerfs and stuff, these are things that should have happened so long ago. I am not going to give Treyarch or Activision any props over this, because this is stuff that should have been addressed very quickly. If not, they should have just been there at launch. Now, of course, I'm not saying that they can get gun balance perfect at launch, but it shouldn't have taken them 4 months from the game's initial launch to actually decide where the fuck they want to go. At this point, we should be seeing content, not updates. We should be seeing new maps, new game modes, new guns, just like anything to keep us motivated to play this game. And at the moment, I'm not seeing that. Yeah, cool, we're getting a big update, but the update is just not something that I really care about. I haven't actually addressed the title of this video, but this video is basically my theory on why I think Call of Duty is failing and why I think just Activision as a company and, you know, the whole franchise is going downhill. Now, the main reason I think that Call of Duty and Activision are going downhill is because they are way too greedy. Now, I understand the point of a company. The point of a company and or business is to make money. I'm completely aware of that, and I'm not trying to take that away from Activision or Call of Duty. You know, they gotta make their money, and I understand that. However, the only problem I have with the way Activision are doing it and Call of Duty as a franchise is that they used to prioritize the players over profits. And ever since Call of Duty has been on a decline, it seems like they have completely switched that narrative to where they prioritize profits over players and what their needs are. And while I totally get that you want to make more money, this is a short-term solution. This is going to hurt them in the long run way more than it's going to help them. And I think a perfect example of this are games like Fortnite and Apex Legends and all these free-to-play games that are making way more money than Call of Duty while still being free to play. The reason they make more money is not because they litter their game with microtransactions and pay-to-win schemes and, you know, supply streams and loot boxes and all these stuff. The reason they make more money is because they implement microtransactions in a way that doesn't affect the player's experience on the game. If you don't want to spend any money on Fortnite or on Apex Legends on cosmetic items, you don't have to. You can play the game and enjoy it for what it is. However, Call of Duty Duty, they try and push more and more every single year to where you almost need to spend money on these things. They tried to do that initially with Call of Duty Black Ops 4, where the supply stream was 200 ranks. And then there was just so much community backlash against this because no, there were not weapons, but it wasn't allowing us to actually get these cosmetic items in a free way. For you to actually get it for free, you would have to do a ridiculous amount of grinding that most people just wouldn't be able to achieve. And on top of that, games like Fortnite and Apex Legends put the player first. While of course they want to make money, that's the goal of every business, before implementing microtransactions, they make sure that the game is fixed. They make sure that the game is polished so that people will actually enjoy the game before they actually spend money. Call of Duty is the complete opposite. This game came out in a completely terrible state, and it still is in a terrible state. We're 4 months in, this game is unfinished, and it is nowhere near being polished. Yet we have a shit ton of microtransactions in this game. It seems like their priority is making us poor rather than making us stay on the game. And while I'm sure a lot of these things are putting money in their pockets and they are making a killing off of these things, in the long run, it's going to increase player abandonment of the series, and it is just going to kill this series. Because eventually people are going to be fed up. Eventually people are going to realize, why am I spending so much money on this shit? Myself included. I'm starting to question myself, why am I spending €100 every single year on this franchise when every single year it's the same thing, recycled and unfinished as well? And on top of the fact that I had to pay €100, I may also have to pay extra money on microtransactions. A lot of people are starting to think that way. A lot of people are starting to be smarter with their money. Why would anybody stick to a series like Call of Duty where they don't prioritize the players, but in fact they prioritize profits, when you can go over to a game like Apex Legends or Fortnite where they obviously prioritize what the players want in game? They make updates based on what the community wants, and then after that they focus on the cosmetic items and stuff, which people will buy because people actually enjoy the game. And this goes for myself as well. If Apex Legends becomes a game that I play in the long run, I am definitely going to be buying cosmetics, especially the camos and different weapons that are in the game, not the pay-to-win weapons because there are none in the game. But when it comes to the cosmetics, it's almost like variants in this game. I really like the way they look at Apex Legends, and if the game stays in a very good spot and I feel like it is worth the investment, I'm definitely going to dish out a little bit of money here and there so that I can get these weapons, because that is my way of paying it forward for Respawn Entertainment. They have made this incredible game, so I feel like I probably should give them something in return. But it's nice that we as players actually have the choice. We are not forced in any way to spend money to play the game or to continue playing the game. Updates are free, map packs are free, while with Call of Duty we're still paying for map packs, which is a very old business model and it's very out of date. A lot of Activision's business models of how greedy they are actually stem outside of the game as well. It's not even with just the Call of Duty franchise, but it's included in other franchises. A lot of you guys have heard the news, but a lot of people have been fired over at Activision. In fact, 800 people were fired. A huge reason why they did this is because they are financially in a very bad position, and so instead of making better products, they would rather get rid of the clients that they are paying so that they can hold on to the profits that they are losing out on. A lot of companies and a lot of business owners say that this is a very, very bad move for any business to make because it is a short-term solution to a financial problem. Yes, in the short term, they are probably going to save a little bit of money. However, in the long term, it's not like those employees were useless. They had a purpose over at Activision. By firing these employees, they have made it very obvious that in the future, they are going to struggle when it comes to putting out better products. Activision are already struggling when it comes to releasing a good Call of Duty every single year. In fact, they haven't done it in a very long time, so firing people isn't going to fix that issue. If anything, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to actually fix. If instead of firing people, they changed up their business model from head to toe, that could definitely help them a lot more in the long run. While yes, it is going to cause a lot of short-term losses, especially quarterly with their earnings and stuff, and investors are obviously not going to be interested if they're reporting below expected returns. However, this approach doesn't really help anyway, because even if you are going to fire people and do something that is going to help you short-term, this still made the stock price of Activision plummet. I think the stock price fell like, what, 12% or something? So obviously investors are getting a very bad feeling about this company now that they they're making very poor financial decisions. At one point, I was considering investing in Activision, but after hearing about all of these things and how poor their business model is, I would never invest in Activision. As an investor looking at this company, it doesn't matter how much money they're making, I am not going to invest in their company because they have a terrible business model that is unsustainable. I could invest in this company and maybe make money in the next year or two. While it wouldn't be substantial, it would still be making money. If I'm talking about long term, this company is just one you should not go near. Overall, what do I think of the future of Activision? I really do believe that they are going to go in the same direction as EA. EA were pretty much as greedy, if not greedier than Activision at one point. And eventually, that same greed that EA faced was what actually led them to their demise, and it's what made a lot of people just completely abandon a new release that they had put out. And now you have a company like EA that are actually trying to do things for the players and realizing that all this greed has really them over in the long term. Eventually, if Activision continue with the ways that they're doing right now, they are going to face the same consequences. Eventually, Activision are going to get to a point where they either need to change the way they do business, or they are simply just going to go out of business. Either decision is going to be beneficial for the gaming community as a whole, because Activision is just known to just take games that are huge, buy them out, and then just completely them over for monetary gain. But who knows what's gonna happen. Let's just hope for the best. But anyway, this has been my input on why I think Activision are on a downward slope and why I think Call of Duty as a whole and other gaming franchises owned by Activision are also taking a huge hit. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of this whole ordeal with them firing employees, and where do you think they're gonna go from here. But anyway, I'll leave that to you guys, and I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you're want to stay up to date with my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.